attention. I want to show you something. John chapter 14 verse 2. What Jesus was saying is, in my Father's house are dwelling places, not buildings, dwelling places. Now he says, when I go, this going is not the one that we're waiting for. This going was the one that happened after he died. Because after he died and rose from the dead, Mary held him. He said, hold me not back. I have not yet gone to my Father, your Father, my God, your God. But tell my brethren, I have risen. Now, he went to heaven that day, appeared before the Father with the blood. The blood was accepted. Kabaya. And on that day that he appeared in heaven was the day he was sworn in as a high priest. Because Jesus was two goats in one. He was two goats in one. If you remember the types and shadows, two goats, scapegoat, sacrificial lamb. The sacrificial lamb is killed. The scapegoat is released with the sins of Israel. So Jesus was two goats. When he walked away to Golgotha, he was the scapegoat. On the cross, he was a sacrificial lamb. When he died as the animal of sacrifice. But on the third day, when he rose as the high priest. So he was both the goat and the high priest. When he ascended to the right hand of majesty to present the blood. When the Father accepted the sacrifice, the Father looked at Jesus and said to Jesus, according to the prophetic psalm, thou art fairer than the children of men. Grace is poured into your lips. Therefore, I, God, thy God, has blessed thee forever. Guard thy sword upon thy thigh, O most mighty, with thy glory and thy majesty. And in your majesty ride prosperously, because of righteousness and meekness and truth. And your right hand shall teach you terrible things in righteousness. Thy throne, O God, is forever. God was talking to Jesus. The scepter of your kingdom is a right scepter. Thou lovest righteousness and hatest wickedness. Therefore, I, God, your God, has anointed you. That was the day Jesus became the high priest of the New Testament. Are we together here? Now, the moment he became high priest of the New Testament, he raised us up into his priesthood. Remember, whatever he did was not for himself. Remember, the death was my death. The burial was my burial. The resurrection was my resurrection. The ascension is my ascension. The glorification is my glorification. So when he became priest, I was also a priest with him. He accepted me into priesthood with him. Meaning, I don't need a go-between to talk to the Father. I don't need an angel to help. I don't need Mother Mary to talk for me. In fact, if Mary didn't get born again, she'll go to hell. If Mary didn't get born again, she will go to hell. Because Mary got born again, and on the day of Pentecost, she was in the upper room praying. So when the Holy Ghost came, Mary spoke in tongues. There's no partiality. Now, if you celebrate that Mary carried Jesus for 9 months, what of you that he lives in you forever? He lives in you forever. I will live in you. I will walk in you. I will be your God. You will be my sons and daughters. Your body is the house of the Holy Ghost. Somebody hearing me shout, I hear you. So you are accepted into the priesthood of Christ. Where he is, you are. All right? Now, that John chapter 14, when he now said, when I return, I will receive you to myself. When he rose and his blood was accepted, he came back and entered the room without a window and a door. And then they doubted. He breathed on them the Holy Ghost. And he began a 40-day conference teaching them. That was where he began to teach them. In Luke chapter 24, he said to them, these are the words which I spake unto you, 24:44, while I was yet with you, that all things must be fulfilled, which were written in the law of Moses, in the prophets, in the Psalms, concerning me. Then opened he their understanding, that they may understand the scriptures. So it was in that Luke 24 conference that the disciples for the first time understood the scriptures. Why? Because Jesus put all the facts of the scriptures together. So when they saw the entire scriptures put together as a person, their understanding opened. And they understood the scriptures for the first time, because Jesus expounded unto them in all the scriptures. The word expounded in Luke 24:25 was the first time in the Greek text of the Bible you will see the word expound. It is the Greek word harmonia. Harmonia means interpreted. So that means the types, the shadows, the prophecies and the promises of the Old Testament were coded. They required interpretation, meaning they were not literal, so it had to be interpreted. So when Jesus showed up, he unlocked the scriptures. Then when they saw it interpreted, their eyes opened and they understood the scriptures. Are we in the house here? So now, when Jesus rose and became the high priest general of the church, in his resurrection is your resurrection. It is called identification. So that's why now Revelation tells us he has made us kings and priests unto our God, and we shall reign with him forever. Are we together? Now watch this. John 14:20. John, the Gospel of John, chapter 14, verse number 20. God punished the devil. At that day, I'm telling you, I feel something. At that day you shall know, not you shall feel. Oh, it's good to feel. Very good to feel good. But there's a realm beyond feeling. It's a realm of knowledge. At that day you shall know that where I am, there you may be also. Remember, that's a promise. So now he's saying, at that day, after I have fulfilled the building of mansions, you shall know that I am in my Father, and ye in me, and I in you. Complete union. There will be no difference between you, Father, and me. We will be lekutoloto. I'm looking for English. We will be intertwined, so that when you see me, you will know you will know me. All of us, when you see me, you see. When you see me. We will be inside each other. No separation, union. In that day. Which day? Today. So right now when I say, Father, I thank you that you hear me always. When the Father looks, he sees Jesus. He doesn't see me, because I'm in him, he's in me, we are one. No more, no less. No inferior, no superior. We're into each other. The reason why when you pray you're not sure God answered is because the reality of who you are has not dawned on you. Your mind has not been renewed to see who you truly are. Your identity is in crisis. You're mentally agitated. But the moment the reality dawns on you, when you say Father, the same way Jesus said Father is the same way the Father hears you.